Hello? Nice. Well, hello to everyone. We're going to do this talk presentation in English. I don't know if it's alright to you. ¿Está bien que sea en inglés? Vale. Welcome to Experimental Photography 2023. Today we're going to explain a few books that we have been working for a year more or less. This was a contest we did about 40 books, which every person had to present a project about experimental photography, and the winners were Morgana Ucher, Antonella, and Max. And today they're gonna explain their own project by itself. I don't know how much time we have. I think 1 hour, 30 minutes. Oh my god. Okay, it's gonna be fast. Well, I'm Sergio. I am the designer who has worked with them. Just from myself, I just help them to improve certain things that are related to graphic design, and also I help them to print the whole thing, but the whole project and merit are from them. So I don't know, maybe we can start. Sorry, where's Ed? Ed. I don't know if is he online? Also, Ed won, so there are 4 winners also, but he's connected. Sorry about.
Thanks. You want me to start? Yeah, sure. I'll just share my screen.
Yeah, only 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Thanks.
Hang on. Can you see that?
Yeah, we do.
Brilliant. Hi, I'm Ed Back. I'm an artist based in the UK, and my practice focuses on experimental photography techniques with particular interest in cameraless techniques such as the photogram, and I'm here to introduce my book, 100 Million Years. Oh, bear with me a sec. So the book is illustrated with photograms of familiar household waste, and it asks what traces will modern human civilization leave to be found in the fossil record in millions of years' time. The purpose of the book is to draw attention to our culture of relentless consumption and waste and the unsustainable impact that we're having on the planet. The book isn't intended to provide solutions necessary to the problems we face, but rather to encourage people to start conversations or ask questions and start conversations. The initial inspiration for the project was the Anthropocene. This is a new theorized epoch that some believe we have entered, replacing our current epoch, the Holocene. Broadly speaking, an epoch is a geological layer classified by the rocks and the fossils found within it. It's thought that we've entered this new epoch because human activity has become the most dominant force on the planet, and therefore will become the most dominant force in the formation of the geological record. Related to the Anthropocene is the technosphere. The technosphere is a system that encompasses all technological objects and processes created and used by humans or resulting from human activity. Unlike the biosphere, which is efficient and recycles almost everything, the technosphere wastes almost everything and just continues to grow larger and larger. The technosphere is the system that will feed the Anthropocene through the creation of technofossils. The book is intended to act as a thought experiment to encouraging the reader to imagine that they are archaeologists from a distant, from a future civilization exploring the Earth's surface in millions of years' time, and ask what would they find? Would they be able to disentangle a narrative of human existence and culture, or would they find that all traces of the natural ecosystem have been smothered out of existence by the mess that we leave behind us? The fossil specimens included in the book are free from labels or explanations, encouraging the reader to use their imagination to build their own stories around the objects, and so much as these future visitors to the planet would have to do. The photogram is a cameraless technique that involves placing an object on photosensitive paper and exposing it to light. The resulting image is a negative imprint. Conceptually, the process produces an imprint very reminiscent of a fossil impression. An imprint of the subject is made through physical contact with the medium over time. The process has the ability to decontextualize the objects, making the familiar unfamiliar, transforming the subjects into indistinct metaphors that will hopefully emotionally engage the reader and encourage them to consider our current collective actions through the lens of our future fossil legacy. Thank you very much. Try to keep it quick. Cheers. I'll just try to stop. Hang on. There we go.
Let me put on full screen. Yes. So I made a photo book, and I don't think I'm going to talk too much about it, but I'm going to read the first text because I think that sort of shows the thoughts that I had at the time pretty well and the concept behind it. And then I will show some pictures. This is very small, so I'll read it. I was looking at a cloud of flies flutter over the water, hit by a tiny patch of sunlight which had found its way through the trees above. I saw a big, indiscernible mess of movement, until in an instant, depending on how I would focus on them, I was able to see all of them move to the left or to the right. These three different forms of movement were impossible to be viewed simultaneously. Why was I able to choose what to see, and why was I then not able to see the other modes? Is it self-deceiving to assume that this choice only presents itself as an active one? I find it a lot more likely that this is happening continuously in your subconscious mind, which concludes that everything you see is not really what you see, but merely an interpretation of what you see. This effect becomes more apparent when taking mind-altering substances. Here I'm not referring to only psychedelic drugs, but really to all forms of intoxication, varying from alcohol to medications such as paracetamol. It's easy to dismiss the things you see, experience, or not feel as an effect of this mind-altering substance. You see the ground move because of the LSD you've taken, or the headache is left because of the paracetamol you've ingested. Still, we know that the ground does not move and that the flu is still there. It is in the difference between knowledge and experience here that we are able to differ between what is real and what is not. Why then do we accept that without these substances we are experiencing the world as it truly is? Our ground zero is merely the state our body moves towards naturally, but not necessarily the one which reflects the outside world most truthfully. The way we move in, respond to, and experience this world is all influenced by our memories, which causes us all to react differently to similar stimuli. Some look to a passing snake with awe, while others are frightened by the sight of a garden hose in the grass. These both qualify as experiencing the presence of a snake, whereas we do say that one is real and the other is not. It's not only our reaction which differs from person to person, it is also the visual input. Some have trouble finding objects in front of them, while others continuously see a lost loved one in the face of every passerby. Our present perception is a malleable object influenced by past memories as well as future desires and predictions. By manipulating black and white as well as color negatives with the Mordant-Sage chemistry, I've created imagery in an attempt to stimulate a variety of multiple perceptual modes. I want to allow people to let their imagination run wild and experience these images however they see them, real or abstract, be it a mangled analog photograph or see it as tiny ink blots on paper or pixels on a screen. And now I'll just show some pictures because I think that's what it's about. The book is divided in two parts. The first part is black and white imagery, which you see here. And then the second part is color. The color is done on the same technique as which is happening now outside with the workshop of Ella. And so this is on color. As you can see with the color, it's still very much in the testing stage. Like these are the first two rolls that I did. So the range of possibilities is quite big, whereas the black and white has a more singular character. So this was my presentation. I keep it short because time is short. If you feel like you want to ask questions or say things about it, I'll be around today. So.
Okay, next one, Anto. I can put you the cover of the book.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Hello, my name is Antonella. My book is Not Street Photography. I didn't come very much prepared today. I didn't bring a presentation, but I thought it was really good to come here and at least talk a little bit about the book and the process. It's a book. I would love to show it to you, but I don't know what happened in my head. I didn't even bring the book. But okay, yeah, I can say like the book. I did it. It started like really like an experiment with myself, apart from photography, and it's a really personal process that started, I think, with the COVID and the confinement. That it's also something I think we don't speak too much about anymore. I don't know. It's weird talking about this now, but yeah, I think it's something that sorry, changed all of our lives. So it's kind of like a little start of my changing process at that time. So that's what I wanted to show throughout the book, through the layout. And it was just me experimenting with this. Oh, I brought something. I don't know if I brought the. I don't know if you've seen the book, but it's all these like small photographs, like scanned, and yeah, I was like just playing with these little cuts I did from like my collection of books and magazines, and I was like like grabbing all these, cutting all these pictures of people that kind of like were in the street, but they were not like the main characters in the photographies, in the magazines and books. So yeah, it was like a whole process of me bringing these cuts to here in Spain. I was living in Argentina at that time, and maybe what I can say as a conclusion is like the book is like a path of myself, of coming out of COVID, coming out of the confinement, coming out of a dark place. And so, yeah, I think all creative processes are, even sometimes they don't make any sense at all, and you're just like, I don't know what I'm doing, but they, like, my conclusion is just like to give yourself your own space to create with no judgment and just letting go. I would have never expected myself to be here or my book to be printed like that. So yeah, I'm very grateful to the festival and really, really happy. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Morgana, and my photo book. My name is Morgana, and my photo book is called Sombra del Universo. In English, will be like Shadow of the Universe, and it's a photo book about a project I have been like carrying out the last few years, and it's an investigation about the shadow. Because usually we have this idea of the light being the science and rational and the good way of seeing things. But actually, sometimes we forget about the shadows and about the qualities of the darkness. Because the darkness has other qualities which sometimes we dismiss, like for the Greeks, it was related with the death and the chaos. But it's also like a place where things are born. It's a place where our rationality cannot see properly, so we let our imagination free, so we can like imagine and observe from a different point of view. So the technique I have been using for this project is between photography and painting, because I paint my own negatives with olive and acrylic oil, and then I reveal them. So I got the negatives. So also this the way we work in analog photography is for me it's really related with the shadows. So that was for me was like a good tool to speak about the darkness and the shadows. So this book it's all about abstract photography, and it talks about the hidden universe, like all this darkness matter, which is like I think it's like around the 90% of the universe, because we do think that we know a lot, but actually we don't know just a few tiny things about the universe. So I like to work with this work as using the shadow as a way to imagine this huge universe we don't know. And also because the darkness also, we usually think like the lights show us like hidden things of the nature, the universe, but actually the light can also hide other things. For example, when we have like a shiny sky, we cannot see the stars. So I like to use the shadow as a way to show things that are hidden by the light. These are some pictures that are included in the photo book. And I like the spectator to imagine what these things could be. And then, because this book was really abstract and is really related with subjectivity, I asked one of my friends who writes poetry to write some poems for the book. And we had this discussion with Laura and Sergio from the photo festival about if then this book will be like a poetry book or a photo book. But I wanted to explore, and in this book, always photography is the main, like the more strongest thing in the book, more than poetry. Poetry is actually a thing which accompanies the pictures and not in the verse. So these are, sometimes you can find some pages where there are no poetry, some pages when you can find like a really short poetry. And this poetry, I asked my friend to as from her subjectivity to think what these pictures move inside her. So it's like another layer, like to accompany the spectator during this travel around this darkness and hidden universe. So yes, I like to keep this book as an open to any interpretation or any subjectivity, so the spectator can recreate how hidden universe could look like, or what these shadows and shapes will be. Thank you.
Okay, so that's all. Yeah, we don't have time, but thank you guys. I don't know if any of you have a question for them. They will be here, so feel free to ask whatever you want. And also, if you want to purchase or take a look for all of the books, I think they are downstairs. So yeah, take a look. Thank you very much.